How's everybody doing today? So I had started this video about a week ago and my phone crashed, so I lost all my video. So more or less I'm starting over. Got a new Galaxy S10. We're gonna kind of play with the camera and see what kind of videos we can make with it and just kind of play around, see what she does. As far as the engine, if you watched the last video of the race, the beginning of March, it's been a couple of months. We blew up that engine, one too many money shifts, and the exhaust valve said no more. So I went ahead and sourced this engine, 82,000 miles. I'm not sure if it's a JDM engine, but I believe it is. If it came out of the car that I've seen and everything, I'm not sure if this had a supercharger on it or what, but there's just too much for me to feel like it's an American engine, especially if you come down here and look in the ports. I mean, every single one of these ports is beautifully clean, and if you take a flashlight and look down in them, you can tell that there's like no buildup. You can see a little bit of trash from where I took it off. I've got to clean all that up, but come over here to that one, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, the exhaust, the intake valves, they don't have any leaks or anything like that. You can tell on the stems, typically if your valve guides or your valve seals are starting to leak, you're gonna get some discoloring on your valve stem there. But we're not. Every single one of them looks perfect. So all I'm really gonna do to the head is I'm gonna take it. Let me see if I can position this mag light just right, but maybe not. Basically, I'm gonna go in here, and when I get a different set of gaskets, I'm gonna stuff some stuff down in these holes, and then I'm gonna take a rasp and kind of take the lip and the edge off of that, because when you take these lower runners, I'm gonna go ahead and send these off to Sean at P2R and just give him these, because he already has sold me a set that were ported. I've just got 3 sets of these laying around, so I don't need them. He needs them for stock, to where he can get these ported and sell them to somebody else. But if you take these and you port these, then the opening of this doesn't match the opening on the head, so then you have a lip that's going to create a little bit of, I guess you'd call it like a vortex or something, where the air hits that sharp lip and just kind of swirls. So I'm going to try to smooth that transition over where this meets that surface, to where we don't get that. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the cams and swap the cams yet, send them off and have them reground. I don't know. I'm probably going to leave that water pump on there, just because it's got, it's an original Honda part. Everything else on this thing seems so damn clean. If it's got 80,000 miles on it, there's not really a reason for me to change it, even though I have a brand new one on the other engine. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take all these pulleys off of the other motor and swap these, and then swap the tensioner, swap the belt. If I'm that far into it, I could swap the water pump, but this one's not leaking, and they should be good for 150,000 miles. So it'll be good till we're back into it again. And being that we're going to go to an AEM computer, this is an auto engine, and apparently what I've understood is if you go to AEM, this is the sensor that needs to be changed, to where you get that plug right there, and then some sort of cam sensor. I don't know if it's up here or if it's in the head. Hell, I don't know. But I'm just going off what everybody else is telling me. And I don't know if my other one has this on it. I feel like this is something that's different, because on my car all I have is this port and this port, and I'm basically using one of these, I believe it's that one, as a temperature sensor probe. But I think I'm gonna have to change out that tube right there. And today what I'm gonna do is go ahead and start taking off all the bolts that hold the transmission onto the engine, and go ahead and loosen them up, get this thing all torn down, clean it up, clean all these studs, and probably I'll pop the cover off and just kind of give it a visual inspection, and I'll share that with y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing this apart. So come over here and look at the VIN. We have got 19UY A42761A002219. So I don't know if this is A0022 or what. If anybody understands the reading and the meaning of VIN numbers, let me know if this is a JDM engine and what all that stands for. Is that the 22nd engine or the 2219th engine? I don't know. I'm really curious about that, so leave me a comment below and tell me what y'all know about that. I'm gonna start separating it. You can tell that's kind of loose. Now, I'm at my shop where I work, my business is, and I do not have an engine crane. So I'm gonna see if I can separate the engine from the tranny just sitting here on the pallet and then wiggle it off. Not the most ideal way to do it, but it works. And wouldn't you know it, there's a little tiny 10mm bolt down there holding the shield on. I gotta take that off. Alright, so after getting that bolt off, I probably worked on it for maybe 5-6 minutes. I can't get it to separate any more than that because it's hanging. As you can tell, right there it'll hang, right there it'll hang. It's doing the same thing when I'm trying to slide it back. Bottom portions of the transmission are catching on the pallet. So try putting it on that round rod and sliding it off, it just won't work. So I've got to find a way to put a chain on it somewhere here and come over here on a lift point, put a chain there, and I'm gonna bring my excavator in from outside, bring it in here and just lift the engine up ever so slightly and then slide the transmission off. That's the only thing I know to do, is use a tractor to try to separate that off there. Okay, so we went ahead and finally got the transmission off of the engine, and it was absolutely horrible to get that thing off. First time I've ever pulled off an automatic, and what ended up happening was the piece of the automatic transmission was hanging right here and actually ended up breaking off, which is this little stupid piece right here. But all this is part of the bottom where the dust cover hooks to. So I don't really think it's anything that important. Plus we're gonna go put the 6-speed transmission on this, so I don't really need the auto. But we've got it off. We ended up using the excavator, and anybody who didn't know, well drillers, that's what we do. And then we race on the side. So hopefully I can get my engine stand here, and we'll lift this up, get it mounted on the engine stand, and I'll start peeling things off of it, getting it ready. Pull the torque converter off and pull the flex plate off. I'll probably take some aluminum cleaner and clean the engine and clean up pretty much everything I can before I start working on it. So that's about it for this. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for more.